Hey, does anyone else get their period on the full moon, or is it just us special people who end up getting extra emotional on the full moon? I'm not even like, like when there's scales of emotions where it's like you're either screaming, crying, all of that, or when you're just like completely still. That's how I feel right now. I've the last few days have been contemplating what is anything, like what does anything even matter, and I've come to the grand conclusion of no. And I really feel like my spiritual practices and everything that I've been doing has changed the way that I see my spiritual practice itself. A lot of us kind of get into this whole thing because we are trying to get something. I know for me, I was just trying to get my relationship to a right place and figure out my romantic life and understand, where I kept going wrong in that regard. And, I work with people every day, with my healing sessions, and a lot of us are in that same boat where that's how we get into the spiritual practices and everything. Now that I've kind of come to this point where I really feel like nothing matters in like the best way possible, I'm looking at my spiritual practice in like a completely different light. I feel like I'm now looking at it as just food, water, vitamins, like an essential part of day-to-day life, a part where you can't really, it's not like a negotiable thing. It's not like if you feel like it, you know? So, and it's so interesting, like that shift and what happens as a result of that shift. I feel like you stop looking at, the result of it. Like if you're eating every single day and if you're drinking water every single day, are you expecting something in return? Or is that your return? And that's kind of what I feel like I've been transitioning into. And it completely happened on accident. I wasn't even really trying to make that shift. I recently turned 25 years old last week, and I really, really do feel different. I know I made a TikTok being like on the day I didn't really feel different at all, and it didn't really even feel like a real day, but now I feel like locked in a sense. And not till, and it's so weird, like it's not like I'm locked in to my goals. Like that's usually how I've used that word in the past, like, oh, I feel really in the mode, or I feel like I'm really in the gears of it, or I feel like I'm really working towards something, and like that's what I mean by locked in. But now I feel like I'm just kind of here, doing what I gotta do on a daily basis for sure, but with less pressure. I really feel like this whole pressure can kind of lifted off my back after I realized that, we're all gonna turn 60 years old one day. How do I want to feel like when I'm 60? Instead of what do I want to feel like today? Because when I started to think about how I want to feel when I'm 60, I'm able to like map out my goals, which obviously like they still stand. Like just because I'm feeling like nothing matters, it doesn't mean that I don't have goals. I still have goals, but they're just like framed differently. So I keep thinking about the version of me that's 60. And I'm like, okay, so like what do I want her to feel like? What do I want her to be like? What do I want her to do? Hopefully nothing. And how do I get myself to a point where I don't have to do anything at 60 years old and I can just like make jewelry or do something creative for my livelihood? Because I don't think I'll ever really want to stop working in a sense or making money. I feel like I'm someone that always wants to be like hands-on with things. So how do I set myself up so that I can comfortably be in that position has been my priority. And with that, a lot of my fitness goals feels really aligned. Like the reason why I'm working out. Like I want to feel and be healthy at 60. I want to have no problems, no physical ailments. So how do I make that happen for myself? How do I make that happen for my future husband and my future kids? What principles do I need to have? What values do I need to have? What morals? How do I need to live my life today in order to feel really fulfilled at 60? Which then makes me feel really fulfilled at 25. So yeah, just looking at my goals from that perspective, like how do I want to walk into my office when I'm 45? How do I want to live my life when I'm 35? What things do I want to have by then? Instead of putting on the pressure of having all of those things today and needing the evidence of that movement today, You know, it feels nicer for me right now to think about what 60-year-old me would want and what 60-year-old me would say to me today. You know, most likely all of the older version of ourselves would tell us to chill the fuck out. Guaranteed. Which is fun. Because most people are just like, yeah, live your life and like be aligned with your goals for sure at a young age, but you don't need everything today to guarantee that it's gonna somehow get to you. And another thing is like, do we really need the physical evidence of something in order to feel it? You know, the reason why we want money a lot of times is because we want the freedom to be able to do whatever it is that we desire in a day. So like, how can we find those pockets of peace throughout the day where we still do the things that we desire? Maybe it's mixed in with things that we don't really like so much, but isn't that life? You know, like completely our perspective on what's good, what's bad, what's evil, what's things that we like, things that we don't. It's completely based on our perspective. So if right now you feel like the majority of your life are things that you don't like doing, like how can you introduce 5 minutes of peace in your day? How can you kind of like allow for your morning routine to inspire you instead of being like a thing that has to be checked off on your to-do list? How can we make meditation, yoga, showering, eating, being healthy a fun part of your life? You know, like it's like the same perspective shift of doing your skincare routine as a form of self-love instead of trying to fix your skincare. I haven't even looked at what my hair looks like. You know? Like doing your skincare routine because it feels good to do it instead of fixing whatever is on your face. It's that. It's that feeling of like, I'm just doing it because it feels good and the result can be whatever it is, and I feel free knowing that I'm always going to get what I want. I feel free knowing that I'm safe to live my life without these outcomes and without these expectations that don't really serve us, right? So that's how I feel like I've learned a lot after I became 25. I feel like a lot of these things just kind of like locked into place because let me tell you, November was such a difficult month for me. I felt like I just purged out everything, and now with this month, I just really feel renewed and fresh and really at peace. So, in a weird way, not in the way that I expected peace to feel, I feel more calm with the goals that I have in mind, less stressed about when I'm going to achieve them, less down on myself because I haven't achieved them to the perspective that I want them to or to the way that I want them to today. You know, there's less emphasis on today, but in a balanced way. Everything has two meanings, you know? It's never just like this or that. It's always like, yeah, I feel less emphasis on today, meaning I don't have that expectation of outcome today, but I still will do everything that I need to do today to make me feel good and to make myself feel like I'm aligned on my path. And it's like, I'm taking the baby steps today, and I will always be taking baby steps because that is the day-to-day. Not every single day is a burst of spiritual enlightenment. You know, you're not gonna get a download of like this heavy realization every day. It takes steps to get to the point where, you know, oh yeah, I get it now. Oh, okay, this makes sense now. Like those moments where things click, I feel only happen when you put in the work leading up to that by accepting your life as it is. For me, it's been really important to maintain a morning routine, and I haven't been perfect by any means, but it's been important for me to meditate in the morning, every morning, practice yoga in the morning, in movement form in yoga asana, drink my coffee and journal and really connect with myself first and then speak to everybody else. And kind of carrying that same energy into my nighttime routine as well, you know, talk to everyone and be there with your family and be there with your friends and your partner and whatnot. And then also have time for yourself where you can kind of recenter and realign. I've been in love with physical fitness lately. Physical fitness and just like tuning into my body has been something that really resonates with me. So I've been working out consistently. That's why I have wet hair. I just finished my Pilates workout. I've been doing Pilates since I was like 14, and I know it's like kind of a trend right now, but I've been doing it for like literally 10 years, I think, since freshman year of high school. And it's so cool to see that my interests are still the same. Like the way that I am is fundamentally the same, and I kind of love that, because 10 years ago when I said that I was doing Pilates, most people told me that it wasn't a real workout. And now when I see like a lot of people who are feeling like it is a really good workout and people are like parading it, I just get so excited, because I'm like, hey, you know, like trends are just like ups and downs. Like things that people like and people have opinions on change all the time. So just like do whatever you want. You know, that's kind of the perspective I'm taking it, because I love the fact that a lot of my interests are the same and that I'm coming back to them. So that's another thing. It's just like in these last 6-7 years, I really felt like I lost myself throughout college, and coming back to me has been feeling really great. So yeah, I don't even know what to title this video. I feel like I just wanted to reconnect and talk to you. TikTok has been feeling kind of weird for me lately, and I feel really called to make these long form pieces of content to people who genuinely just want to hear about the journey and hear about the day-to-day. And yeah, I am taking applicants for my healing sessions if anyone wants to join. I have a lot of updates coming out next year, so please stay tuned for that. If you can't sign up with me for 6 weeks or 6 sessions, I totally understand. I will be offering other services so that you know, if that's too much of like a commitment, I get it. I will offer new services, and I'm excited for this new year because a lot of things are changing about the way I'm going to be doing things. So I'm very excited. I really feel like this is going to be a great year for us all. Literally like every single participant that I work with in my healing sessions, I'm like, I'm so excited for you. And like my publicist is like, she's so excited for me, and I'm so excited for her. Like I just feel like it's going to be a great year. So yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you for watching. I don't know what this video is all about. I just wanted to turn on the camera and talk. But yeah, all right. Have a great rest of your day.